How about you take a rest while I go back?
These are Skirk's happiest memories. What a simple and carefree time it was. Wisps of clouds dotted the sky. The sun bathed everything in golden light. And when song filled the air, not even the shyest of flowers could resist swaying along. This is Skirk's homeland. She was so curious about everything as a child, always skipping school to go exploring instead. There was so much to discover. The treasures at the bottom of the sea, the secrets beyond the stars, and that merchant ship packed with adults wearing those strange clothes. Yes, the ship. That was the beginning of the end. It was a spaceship. When it arrived, the people that disembarked wore smiles on their faces and spoke of friendship. They claimed to be merchants from a neighboring planet, looking to establish trade. Skirk's parents, her relatives, her neighbors, everyone welcomed the newcomers with open arms and allowed them to explore the planet. To them, the visitors were guests and should be treated with hospitality. No one had any idea of what was to come. Several months later, an army of unknown origin arrived without warning and carried out a ruthless campaign to destroy everything and everyone on the planet. Skirk had skipped school that day, like so many times before, so she was not caught in the immediate wave of destruction. But when she came home that day, only fire and ruin awaited her. Countless people cried out to her for help. People she knew and loved. Friends and relatives. The little girl who lived next door. The shop owner with the bad leg. The bad-tempered teacher she had made fun of just that morning. Their lives were discarded like worthless trash as the fire consumed one life after another. Skirk was helpless. All she could do was run. And so she did. She kept running until an unexpected figure crossed her path. If Sertology hadn't been there in that moment, the fire would have claimed her life too. And there she would have remained, left to rot in the scorched earth, with no answer as to why any of this was happening. Because she and her people were seen as a threat. As the initial merchant ship explored the planet, they discovered that it hadn't always had the condition to support life. Yet there was evidence of human activity, even during the periods of extreme heat or cold in the past. Further research revealed that, over time, the people of this planet had evolved the ability to adapt to any type of environment or energy source. For that reason, the outsiders viewed them as a potential threat, and decided to eliminate them before the threat could rear its head. And so, the army was called, and the so-called danger was wiped from the face of the planet. Senseless, isn't it? Deemed a threat because of a gift they didn't even know they had. Perhaps it was their own innocence and kindness that doomed them. But in the end, that was lost to the blaze as well. If those with power get to decide good and evil, then all you can trust in is the sword in your hand. And so, before death could claim her, she ran. She ran and never stopped. No one wants to relive their most painful moments. Well, that brings us to the end of the story. This is as far as we can go. Skirka's waiting over there. For both of us. Let's go to her. It's time to fulfill my purpose. And my greatest wish over all these years.
So all this, just so you could bring him here.
I have things to say to you. Well, to me. I want someone to witness our reconciliation, even if it takes an argument to get there. And he is the best choice in this moment. Her suppressed emotional self. The version of herself she keeps locked in the recesses of her mind, stifled by reason. All those rejected impulses, those discarded aspects of your past selves, they are a part of me now. I am who you used to be. Someone you have refused to face for too long. So, I came to face you instead.
You're wrong. I've faced you all along. And that's exactly why I keep you locked here. Your existence makes me weak. Moments of joy and longing are when we are most vulnerable. Don't forget, it was a penchant for goodness over reason that doomed our homeland in the first place. The vastness of the universe renders everything insignificant. Our feelings most of all.
Even so, learning from the mistakes of the past doesn't have to mean erasing everything. Strip yourself of your so-called weaknesses, emotions like kindness and empathy, and what makes you any different from the ruthless soldiers who slaughtered our people?
The difference is that I'm doing what is right. What is necessary. I allow you to exist, but with limited freedom. That is the greatest kindness I can offer. I have shouldered everything you couldn't carry. I rose above the numbness and emptiness, and it was cold, unfeeling reason that brought me this far. It made me who I am. It made me strong.
That is the problem. I want to shoulder those things together. On the grand scale of the entire universe, maybe our feelings are vanishingly small, but why should that mean they don't matter? Emotion gives warmth to the cold expanse of space. It gives meaning to the world around us. Think back to those nights of gazing at the stars, those afternoons of exploring the unknown. Think back, and let them grant you peace. A brief respite from the pressure you put on yourself.
That isn't what we need.
It's exactly what we need. Aren't you curious about why recovering your strength has taken longer than normal this time?
Finally, you get to the important part. That is the only answer I came here to find.
Then look around. Look at your inner world. You cast aside your dreams and curiosity, and in doing so, you lost your original motivation. You severed all connection to who you used to be, so you can no longer draw strength from your past. Now, the only things driving you forward are fear and survivor's guilt. But these cannot take you far enough. And so, this river, the source of your strength, grows more polluted by the day.
And you think that means I should seek help from a weak little thing like you?
Your emotional self isn't weak. The fact that she transcended time and broke free from her constraints to come and face you, that proves it.
Thank you for saying that. I knew bringing you here would be the right choice. To be honest, I'm not here to argue with you. This isn't about who's right or wrong. And in fact, I agree that in order to make it through the wake of that tragedy, we had to distance ourselves from the pain through reason over emotion. But what is right at one point in time isn't always right forever. I know you will never forget that fire. I know the fact that you were the sole survivor fills you with guilt. And I know that among the voices that haunt you, mine is there too. Because deep down, you know that you didn't turn out to be the person you wanted to be. All those unfulfilled hopes are like knives to the heart. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So even if you can't accept me, I hope, at least, that you can let go.
I keep thinking, maybe it would be better if I had died. I wouldn't be haunted by that fire all the time. I wouldn't have to go on like this.
Your dad and I, we're not afraid to stare death in the face, but we need you to survive.
I'm sick of being a kid. There's so many amazing things out there, and I'm ready to see them all.
I remember. There was a song Mom and Dad always sang when we went out to fetch water. Dancing water. The sand along your path is begging for your song and movement. Will you carry this burden with you on your journey? I am not the dancing water, and you are not the burdensome sand. But if this is your wish, then I will carry you with me until the end.
Thank you.
I should be thanking you.
Run, Skirk, run! Remember, leave no one alive!
Heed my words, Skirk. Let fear take root in your soul.
Did you survive? Why was it only you?
Skirk, did you become a positive light in this world?
Hey, this doesn't have to be the end. Life is a gift. Don't let darkness claim it.
So, you saw my memories then. I once asked my master if survival of the strongest was the law of the universe. He said no. But in a world without order, those with no moral boundaries tend to be the ones who survive. That's why, after hearing his answer, an idea came to mind. An idea that, one day, I would create a new world order. One in which there would never be another tragedy like that fire. One in which power was not the law of the land. But that means I must defeat him. Because my master, Sertologi, is, at the core, a defier of all rules and order. Yes. And not just because of the gap in our abilities, but also because I have no reason to see him as an enemy. Although his decision to train me was not made out of kindness, he did everything a master should. He saved my life, taught me the sword and the principles of strength. And for that, I respect him. I know, and it's not something I want. But he's no longer into that. But he sends me messages through the abyss every now and then. Most of them are simple greetings, or an answer to one of my questions. Every time I hear from him, my heart skips a beat. And I wonder if this is the moment where he'll finally appear before me and tear down everything I've built to pieces. Maybe that means I do live in eternal fear, just like he said. Yes, I respect him, but I'm also afraid of him. And for that reason, the pursuit of strength consumes every moment of my life. I don't know what Master has planned, but I have to be ready. Help me? Why? This isn't your fight.
Because if we want to build the world we both want to see, everyone has to be willing to fight for it. If we all do our part, we can make the entire universe a kinder place.
Honestly, Paimon was gone for like 2 seconds and then she comes back and finds you both unconscious? Oh, you scared Paimon half to death. You're both okay, right?
What does it look like? Only water from the source can cleanse the rot and filth that flows from the past into the future. I taught you to incorporate the experiences from your journey into how you fight. I suppose what happened today will become an inseparable part of who I am.
Okay, so Paimon feels like she's missing some important context. But whatever. Paimon brought back tons of delicious snacks! Let's dig in!
All right. It's about time we finished what we started.
We're gonna deal with this thief for good, right?
This time, I'm not going to tell you to hold back. But having digested even more power in the meantime, he's going to be tougher than before. The good news is, we have no reason to pull our punches this time. So, let's go. Same place as last time.
Looks like everyone's here. Now, before we begin, why don't we finish where we left off yesterday? There was an important decision to be made, yes? I'll pour everyone a cup of tea.
Is that really the most important part, though, Clorand? Paimon's more concerned about our current surroundings. Heavy walls, cold railings, dim lights. This is obviously supposed to be a prison.
I admire the work put into the set. Still, it's obvious the scriptwriter has never paid a visit to the fortress of Meripede.
So the set is going to be a part of the script?
Unfortunately, that is something I can neither confirm nor deny.
Anyone think Clorand's smile is starting to look kinda scary?
Well, whatever happens, we'll just have to push on. But first, we should really figure out what to do with this treasure. If we're worried about arousing suspicion because of our identity, why don't we give ourselves a different name, just like Clorand's master did?
Yeah, it might be better to keep a low profile. As long as we're helping people, it doesn't matter who we are or what we're called.
Staring at me won't get you anywhere. Or did you want some more tea?
Oh, Paimon's good. Thanks. Why aren't you saying anything, Navia? Wait, what's that next to you?
Oh, this is the short sword Cloran mentioned last night. I found it.
Huh. I'm surprised you managed to track it down after all this time.
Well, I made sure to take good care of it, considering the circumstances in which you gave it to me. Of course I had to keep it safe. Anyway, where were we? Oh, right. I was just thinking about all the potential ways for us to break out of prison. We could dig a tunnel, or try to bribe the guards.
Wait, we haven't been thrown into prison yet, have we?
Well, it's only a matter of time. It pays to be prepared. Just like how you should always have an umbrella on hand, even when it's sunny.
Alright, Paimon's made up her mind. Let's just give the treasure away. Paimon may have wanted to keep it, but if it's going to land us in prison somehow, Paimon will be too upset to enjoy her snacks.
So, you reached an agreement? All right then, we can continue with the story.
Oh, and we'll collect all the scattered pieces of treasure on the ground as well.
All right. You collect the treasure and make your way back to the capital with your bag of loot in hand. The city is still shrouded in a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere, but your spirits are surprisingly high. In places where sunlight struggles to reach, you generously share your wealth with the children, the elderly, and the poor in urgent need of help.
Thank you, kind soul.
The elderly woman's look of gratitude follows you as you walk away, her eyes never leaving your back until you move entirely out of sight. However, there's still quite a bit of Mora remaining. It appears you haven't made much progress.
She's probably trying to tell us to speed this up. We need to hurry up so we can address the sorcerer problem.
Should we go find that man again at the square? He seemed like a pretty responsible guy. I'm sure he knows the people here far better than us.
Oh, good idea!
Just as you start to make way to the square, intent on finding the man again, there's a voice.
Please wait, distinguished guests.
Several strange guards suddenly call out to you. They run forward to meet you and proceed to politely pay their respects.
Greetings, gentlemen. Are we being invited for afternoon tea?
Surely you jest, my lady. That would not be our place. It is His Excellency the King who requests to meet with you. Please come with us.
Do you think this could be a trap?
Well, we have to investigate the court at some point, right? Meeting the king himself would be a fantastic opportunity to do that.
I say we go for it. If something happens, we'll just turn the whole place upside down.
That sounds a little intense.
After a quick discussion, you nod to the guards and agree to follow. They lead you all the way to the audience hall of the palace. Gilded tables line both sides of the hall. The space itself is adorned with all manner of expensive antiques, glass shelves, and silver candlesticks. The items appear quite ordinary in size and dimension, yet their presence somehow makes the emptiness of the hall feel even more surreal and ominous.
Wow, it's so luxurious!
The elderly king, clad in a magnificent robe, sits upon the deep crimson throne before you. He wears above his head a majestic crown, with a gemstone the size of a bird's egg set right at the very front. As you observe it, you see a complex pattern of light reflect off its surface. They're here, Your Majesty. A man dressed in dark clothes, likely a minister, shields his mouth with his hands and bends down to whisper a few words to the king. After a moment, he lowers his hands and stands back up. His gaze shifts to fixate on your group, but he does not move from his place at the king's side.
The king does not appear entirely aware of his surroundings. The man by his side, though. We should keep a close eye on him.
The king remains still and says nothing. The minister is the one who speaks. Esteemed guests, allow me to thank you for coming to our faraway kingdom. Unfortunately, His Majesty the King finds himself quite exhausted from work. So please allow me, his Prime Minister, to welcome you in his stead. I've heard tell that your group, the Marechaussee Hunters, used your exceptional ability with the sword to repel the monsters near the capital. Such a great deed deserves to be rewarded. However, seeing that I was not fortunate enough to observe such a feat with my own eyes, you'll forgive me for seeking to verify the truth by speaking to you myself.
Well, we've got nothing to hide. You brought us here to talk, right? So we'll just explain what happened. The golem's blades were so powerful, they could cut down trees in a single swipe. It took a lot of effort to defeat them, even for trained swordsmen like us. Well, there was enough details, right? Believe us now?
Your account does indeed match those of the survivors. Since you were the ones who defeated the monsters, that must mean you are also in possession of the treasure they stole?
Well, we did take the treasure, but...
How did he know about the treasure?
Then I must ask that you return it at once. It belongs to the kingdom.
Wait, but didn't you just say that our great deed deserved a reward? Shouldn't the treasure be considered a part of that?
Yes, that was indeed what I said. But you seem to have forgotten a very important distinction. Only that which is freely given by the king can be considered a reward. Taking the rightful wealth of a kingdom without said permission, on the other hand, is a crime.
But that's completely unreasonable.
Yeah, that makes no sense! If it weren't for us, the treasure would still be buried underground somewhere!
Maybe so, yet the fact remains. You tried to dispose of the treasure without reporting it to the court and without receiving permission, yes? What, no answer? Surely you're not insinuating that you, a group of legendary Marechaussee hunters, sought to take the treasure for yourselves?
Well, what about the king? Is he just gonna let this guy talk for him the whole time?
Clad in his magnificent robe, the king remains seated, with his hands resting on either side of the throne. His posture is rigid and unmoving. He stares forward with an empty look in his eyes, completely unmoved by the events before him.
From the look of things, could the Prime Minister be the evil sorcerer? Or could both the King and the Prime Minister have fallen under the evil sorcerer's control?
I would like to observe the number of guards stationed in the hall.
The guards in the palace appear fully armed, their expressions solemn. Sensing the tense atmosphere in the room, they stand at the ready, each with a hand placed upon the hilt of their sword, as if prepared to draw their weapons and surround you at a moment's notice.
Well, there goes my plan to turn the whole place upside down, I guess.
It appears we've been visited by nothing more than a group of ill-intentioned imposters. What a pity. Guards, take them away and throw them in the dungeons. Before I decide your fate, however, I must first determine whether you have any accomplices outside the court.
Can't we try to slip away? Or maybe start some kind of riot?
But if we try to fight the guards right now...
Don't worry. At least we figured out who's behind all this. Let's just play it by ear. If you're scared, Paimon, just hold my hand.
Thanks, you guys.
You allow yourself to be led away by guards surrounding you on both sides. It's only when you begin to feel drops of water falling from the dungeon ceiling and smell the stench of death and decay all around you that you finally realize you've stepped into a completely different world.
Stay here, and don't try anything funny.
The guards lock the cell door and leave without looking back.
Wait, sir!
Your voice echoes through the dark hall, but the only response you receive is the sound of water dripping from the ceiling.
No! What should we do now?
Carve out a new path of fate with our own two hands, of course. I draw my weapon.
You reach toward your waist, but find nothing there. You now recall that your weapons were confiscated before the guards locked you in the cell. The bag of treasure along with them.
What about that knife I hid in my boot?
When did you hide it in there?
When I was thinking about digging a tunnel.
Rejected. You failed to inform the GM of this course of action. Moreover, the guards would have conducted a thorough search before throwing you in prison.
And the keys to the cell aren't anywhere to be seen?
Correct. You don't even feel a lock hole on the cell door.
Oh, well, there goes all our plans.
Indeed.
Huh? Why are you the one saying indeed?
Because that statement holds true for me as well. This is where the script ends.
What? But that's a terrible ending!
Generally speaking, this should be the point where the scriptwriter gives the players some kind of hint, or gives the GM some kind of code for how to move forward.
I mean, maybe they just really wanted us to be immersed in the feeling of being in prison? Like, they'll only show us the way out once we've grown truly and utterly desperate?
That is a possibility.
If only there were desserts and tea in real prison. Oh, wait, guess it's kind of how the Fortress of Meripede works if you're lucky.
Oh, before I forget, Navia, the short sword you had with you earlier. I took a closer look, and the craftsmanship doesn't appear to resemble anything from this era. If I remember correctly, that style was last in vogue several hundred years ago.
Wait, Cloran said that sword used to belong to her master, right? Does that mean her master has been alive that long?
I doubt it. The way she went about things often made her seem childish more than anything. I'd say the sword was most likely an heirloom passed down over time.
Hang on. A precious heirloom passed down to you by your master. And you gave it to me just like that? You weren't worried I might lose it?
Master left many things to me when she disappeared. There was the sword, an old key, and a good amount of junk she probably just didn't want to take with her. I gave you the sword back then, because I didn't want our friendship to end.
Wait, when did this happen exactly?
After the duel. Between Mr. Callis and myself.
Before that, Clorand would have meals with us and even stay over at the Spina some days. She was on great terms with Papa as well. After the duel, though, there was a period of time where we simply didn't know how to face each other. She entrusted this sword to me, and never came back. We were both sad, and conflicted, and totally overthinking everything as a result. Whenever I looked at this sword, I couldn't help but wonder if Miss Petronia had never introduced us to each other at that picnic. Maybe part of the sadness I was feeling could have been avoided. Back then, it felt like I hadn't just lost a father, but a close friend as well.
No one can change the past. The most important thing is that you two found your way back to each other and can enjoy things like this together.
Yep, You're right.
I'm sorry, you two. I didn't mean to bring up any sad memories.
Think nothing of it. No one here is at fault.
Huh? Oh, looks like the next part of our script is here.
Perfect timing. The situation was really starting to get desperate. And not just because of the prison thing.
From Claren's face, Paimon really can't tell if it's good news or bad news.
Water continues to drip from the ceiling. In this lightless dungeon, you lack a reliable way to tell how much time has passed. Eventually, you get used to the unpleasant odor of straw, mold, and rust, and find yourselves alternating between fits of drowsiness and despair. Suddenly, you hear footsteps outside the door.
Heads up, everyone. Someone's coming.
Gather close, everyone, and keep your voice down.
Who are you?
I work as a guard in these dungeons, but my true identity is the same as your own. I'm also a Marashose hunter.
Huh?
Shh. I've already sent away the other guards, but if we make too much noise...
I understand, but how can we be sure we can trust you?
The king has issued a formal decree. In light of the irrefutable proof of your crime, you're to be executed before tomorrow's sunrise. If you want to escape, it has to be now.
Executed? We barely did anything!
Monsters appearing at the same location as the treasure. Could this entire thing have been a trap?
There will be time for speculation once we're out of here. As for my identity, I have no way to prove that to you just yet. Infiltrating the capital was difficult, and finding a chance to speak with you has taken a lot out of me. I could go on, but I think we can all agree that now is not the time for details.
Have you seen our weapons anywhere, sir?
Don't worry, I brought them with me. They're just behind the door. Still, these weapons alone won't be enough to defeat the true enemy behind the scenes. His faction is too powerful. The guards are all under his control, and he's even stationed a number of golems in various rooms throughout the palace. To defeat him, you must find a secret vault. It is said that within that vault, the Marashose hunters of the past left behind a treasure with the power to defeat the sorcerer.
You're not coming with us?
No, I'll remain in the dungeons to deal with the guards. I'll try my best to distract them so they don't go after you. As long as my identity is not revealed, I'll be able to aid you when the final battle comes.
In that case, please stay safe.
Thank you for your concern. I will do my utmost. As for the location of the vault, here, this map should lead you there.
Got it.
All right, once I open the door, remember to stick close and refrain from making any noise. I'll lead you out of here as quickly as possible. You now have the chance to restore the honor and legacy of the Marashose hunters. So please, get out there and reclaim what's ours. And be sure to exercise caution.
With the help of the guard, you successfully escape the dungeons. Your sense of despair and anxiety both seem to fade as you continue your quest.
Wait, we didn't get to use our skills at all while we were in prison. Who knows when we're gonna get the chance to use that cool summon spell?
That is a pity, but we can only continue to move forward.
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time. Guess we can rest a bit. You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next time.
This should be the place marked on the map.
This bit of rock certainly looks suspicious.
Well, I'd say an investigation's in order then. Plus, if all else fails, we can just blow it up.
Wow, you really meant that!
Before you lies a serene stretch of open water, its surface shimmering a brilliant shade of sapphire blue.
Well, guess this means it's time for a swim!
What's the matter?
It's nothing. As you step into the cave, you find yourself in an eerily quiet space. Before you lies a narrow passageway that appears to trail off endlessly into the distance.
Wow, this must be where the treasure is hidden!
But this door is blocking our way in. It almost looks like it's been here for quite some time. I've got to hand it to the tabletop troupe. They really went all out with the props.
Huh. What have we got down here? A kind of mechanism connected to the door? Ah, it looks like we might have to arrange it into a certain pattern.
A pattern on a stone door. That's something Master mentioned before.
Is something wrong, Clarant?
After a long, difficult journey, you finally arrive at the location indicated by your map. It appears to be an ancient site of some sort, where treasure likely awaits. Your surroundings are exceedingly quiet and serene, as if the secret that slumbers here has never once been disturbed. If you listen closely, you can almost convince yourself you can hear the sound of its calm, gentle breathing.
That description makes Paimon feel kinda bad for disturbing this place.
We're doing this for the sake of the people, to free them from the evil sorcerer. I say it's time for this treasure to once again see the light of day.
Linny's right. We need to keep going. The future of the kingdom depends on it. The next part of the story requires us to solve the puzzle, right? Let's start exploring the area.
Yes, that should be fine. Something feels off about all this. Guess I'll just have to improvise.
I found something!
Found something here, too.
Same here.
Here!
It worked!
Something just appeared. Some kind of new mechanism, maybe?
By solving the puzzles, you prove yourselves worthy of inheriting the secrets of the past. At the end of each puzzle, you're rewarded with
With?
a key.
Oh, it must be the key to the big door.
Huh? This is one of the Marechaussee Hunter keys that are passed down from generation to generation. It looks just like the one Master passed down to me. It is said that 4 keys in total are required to form the final, complete key. And it seems like we just collected 3 of them. That must mean...
Huh? What's wrong?
You hear a few strange noises. Suddenly, all the torches in the ruin go out at once.
Huh? What's going on? Did we fall into another trap?
For the sake of immersion, please close your eyes, everyone. Without the torches, the space is now completely dark, and you cannot see anything.
But Paimon can still see a little bit over here. Oh, right. Sorry.
Suddenly, you hear the sound of footsteps pierce through the darkness.
There's someone else here? Oh, this is so unsettling. I can't see anything.
I've been discovered then?
Wait, that voice, it's...
You recognize the voice as belonging to the guard who led you to this place. It appears he now covets the treasure for himself, and has come to stake his claim.
Oh, so this is just part of the script. Then I can probably relax. Well, if we can't see anything, that means we can't fight to the fullest of our abilities. Should we retreat for now?
Judging by the way he's holding his sword, he must be a real Marechaussee Hunter. But this isn't part of the script.
Retreat? That's not the Hunter way. If it's dark for us, then it's dark for him. We choose to fight.
Your choice is noted. Please keep your eyes closed until I tell you the torches have been relit. This battle will be in the dark.
You got it!
Well then, let us begin.